What is the state of the roads here in the county? How would you describe it? I know you mentioned some of the progress, what you've done on a yearly basis, but obviously there's a big response to this today.
Yeah, huge. The state of the roads of the county roads is pretty spectacular, just given the amount of effort that my administration has put in over the past. We're in year 7 now. We've 255 miles of roads paved out of the 330 that we quote own. That's pretty incredible results as a result of the hard work of our highway department and also the administration's focus on rebuilding infrastructure. So that's key. We'll have every road done by the end of next year.
Yeah.
That, though, is far different than what you see in cities and in towns because they don't necessarily have that same budget. So this CHIPS funding is hugely important for everybody, from the county and the towns and the cities. It's really important. So we help out. I think we did 40 miles of shared services with our towns last year. We're happy to do that. But it's really expensive. Sometimes it's close to $1 million a mile to pave a road and rebuild it correctly. So it's a pricey thing. And I would say, look, this is the people's money. When we're talking about CHIPS funding, that's taxpayer money. It's not like it's some massive gift from the state of New York. It's already taxpayers' money. We're just asking for our fair share back. And as Assemblyman Palmisano mentioned, look, the MTA budget is absolutely massive, and we understand how important that is, but this is super important to us.
When you hear it from these towns, these municipalities, I asked a bit about that up there. What is the biggest issue they face? Is it staffing? Is it the inflation? Is it cost of that? What do you hear from them the most?
So it's all of the above.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while there was really hard to get staff, but I think that's lessened a little bit as salaries all over have come up a little bit. That's sort of come down as far as being the number one problem. For a while there, the cost of oil has a massive impact on how many miles a town or a city or a county, even a state, is able to do. So, for instance, 2 years ago, oil was pretty high, and that cut back the amount we could do. We caught up again last year on what we wanted to do, but you have to have that as an impact as well. We've got $9 million worth of new highway equipment. A dump truck, by the way, a plow truck that you see out on the road, easily $250,000 for every one of those. So everything is a huge expense, and I wouldn't say one is more important than the other, but mostly it's just funding. The highway departments know what to do. They just got to have the funding to do it. And I just had one of the highway superintendents from one of our big towns say, look, if it wasn't for your guys helping us out, my cost would have been double to do what he did last year in one of the towns. So we're just asking for help.
Right, from the state. Yeah. They mentioned, Jake actually mentioned all the different municipalities working together, right? That's
for sure.
what it comes down to.
Oh, yeah. You hear about shared services all the time.
Yeah.
This county and most counties have been doing that for decades. They've all been helping each other out, whether I need sand or they need salt or, we need help paving a road or they need help with a culvert. Everybody pitches in and works together. So that is not a huge factor. All the towns and counties are willing to work together, but you got to have the funding to do it. You have to.
Yeah. Off topic for you, from some people asking for an apology for what you had to say about Cindy Doran.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I stand by every single word. Cindy Doran is a reprehensible human being who saw fit to. So let me phrase it. Where's Cindy Doran's apology to me and to my family for the bullying that she took part in on me? And let me give you a great example. I went through a sham, disgusting trial of a made-up charge. Cindy Doran saw fit to trot herself down to that courtroom and sit in the front row every day, hoping I'd go down. If that's not an instance of bullying and being a thug, I don't know what is. There's no apology coming. Cindy Doran can get lost. Good riddance to Cindy Doran.
What about the fire in the bathroom of a public place?
So ridiculous.
Is that something to apologize for?
No, it's so ridiculous. I mean, you talk about low-hanging, stupid fruit that they want to just latch onto. It is a tiny little segment of people that like to whine and complain about every single thing. The bathroom is entirely tile. I mean, a little piece of paper over a
It's still
toilet.
a fire, though.
Come on. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. I'm not even going to address it. It's not even worthy of addressing.
I've also been told about the ethics board. They haven't met in more than a year.
That's not true, to my knowledge, and I don't control that. That's another thing. That's not true to begin with.
There's minutes on the website, and there's no minutes updated since February 24th of last year.
Then call the ethics board. I mean, they don't
Is that a
have
concern to you?
Not a concern
as the head
at
of the
all.
county?
No, because Cindy Doran also filed a false ethics claim, and that got laughed out because it was a complete joke. Listen, this is just the same nasty group of people that want to just make trouble nonstop instead of embracing the great things this county is doing. It's just a very tiny, small cohort. So I'm never apologizing to Cindy Doran. Cindy Doran should apologize to me. She's been nothing but a pain nonsense stuff, making it up. I get a very reasonable pay raise. Cindy Doran organizes a protest in a parking lot on Christmas Eve. Who's the bully here? It's not me, it's Cindy Doran. There'll never be an apology to her. Good riddance, I'm glad she's gone. She should apologize to the veterans of this county for being in office for 7 years at least and showing up to maybe one honor a vet ceremony in 7 years. While she's retired and doing nothing, she couldn't seem to get her butt out of bed to come to an honor a vet ceremony, but she can see fit to go sit in the front row of a trial that was a complete sham.
Any response to any of the officials that have called into question the tone of some of your social media on either side of the aisle? I've heard both on and off the record.
Yeah, you don't like them, don't read them. I could care less. I'm not apologizing for my First Amendment rights ever, and no American should. If you don't like it, don't read them.
Are you concerned about any lawsuits that could come from defamation or something of that nature?
There's no defamation. The defamation comes from the other side toward me, not from me toward them. Everything I say is spot on accurate, so I'm not going to apologize for my social media ever. And if you don't like it, don't read it. It's my personal account. You know, I have an official account. They can read that.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks for answering.
You got it. Yeah.